What's going on, folks? Just taking my walk today, and I'm going to take this time today, and I'd really like to um, address one of the questions sent in by one of the viewers, and I appreciate um, your taking your time to engage my channel and get my input about something. So I'm going to do my best to answer your question and from my perspective. That being said, this person sent me in something. I wrote it down, so y'all bear with me. It's kind of, let me get in there so I can see. All right, so I'm going to read what this person wrote, and then I'll get into my take on things and what I think they should do. And most of the time, every time we're talking about behavior, folks, which is why we do this channel and we talk about these things: bad behavior, relationships, workplace, social atmospheres, society at large. The fucking foolery is what we talk about every day. So this person is obviously feeling some type of way about their scenario, enough that they felt that they would send me something or ask a question or inquire about how to go about dealing with something. And I appreciate that. If you value my insight, I greatly appreciate that, folks. My humility in my heart. Right, I understand that many of you don't have the vibration, but certain people do, and and I appreciate those people. All right. Okay, so I'm going to read what this person wrote, and bear with me here. They got, okay, so you're dating someone who asks you to be in a relationship forever, one-on-one, but they still have their exes calling the home. I get upset and tell him that this is disrespectful to me. He says that I'm jealous, but I think he should show more respect while he doesn't. Am I right or wrong? Okay. So what I did was I listened to the situation and the scenario, and you start off by saying that you're dating someone. Okay, so we obviously know that you're dating, but you say that they ask you to be in a relationship forever. Do you mean as far as marriage? Okay, and that was one of the questions that wasn't put in your letter, but I'm just going to assume that this person asked you for your hand or something. Okay. All right. And so you said one-on-one. Okay, so it's exclusive. We know this because they're going to probably marry you or something or ask for it. And then you said, but they still have their exes calling the home. And this is something I paid careful attention to. The plural of the exes, the word exes, not ex. So that means that there are several other women, I'm assuming, who are calling the home that you guys live in. Which sparks another question. Whose home is it? Now, these are important details, and I don't want you to get emotional about anything before I start. I'm going to give you reason. Because I agree with what you're saying, but I don't have enough information, right? So whose home is this? And what are the specifics of your arrangement? So based on you saying the person asked you to be in a relationship forever, what does that mean? Right? When you tell me, when you use the word forever and you're talking to me, you know that I'm looking at this from another aspect, folks. So forever means what to you in your bullshit material? Forever means what? As long as you guys are not bored with each other, right? The average person gets into a relationship because their vibrational energies, folks, they're doing it to feel good. They're looking for something. They're in a low place and they want to feel something. So maybe it's good sex or something, which is all tangible physical shit. But I'm not going to get into that for right now. I'm just going to talk about those specific things. So you have exes, right? Many women calling your home. Now, let me say this. The first thing is that there's some dysfunctional from the start because, first of all, I don't know what type of arrangement you guys have, and I'm not going to criticize it. Maybe you guys, that's why I said I don't have enough information. Maybe you guys have some type of scenario where y'all were roommates and it got serious or something, but because of limited ability of communication, y'all weren't able to let each other know that y'all wanted to do other things within that relationship. You were comfortable, you had your anchors, but you still felt bored or something. And that's childlike on some level. I'm not here to criticize, but I'm telling you folks, if you're living in this situation, then you're obviously grown-ups. And if you're going to be grown-ups, you have to be willing to deal in that capacity. That being said, the guy who has many children, we're not going to fault him if you got in a relationship with him and he has children. These are people, right? These are other people just like air breathers, just like yourself. So if they were already here, then you're being selfish on some level to not reason that this person has a family connection to these people. Just like you do, right? If they ask you to do something like that or not speak to someone in your family, it may be a problem. So you have to go back and revisit the dynamics of how y'all see each other. Is it that important? Is a relationship that important where this person is asking your hand? Because if so, then you have to reason that you guys are going to start a family and they're going to be part of your family, you're going to be part of theirs. So yeah, then you have more leverage. But if it's a situation where you personally feel, because obviously this could be narcissism. In most cases, we're dealing with fucking foolishness. Now I'm going to reason for the purpose of entertaining your letter, and I'm not playing what you're saying, but at the same time I am, because you have a problem specifically. I don't know that other person. That other person doesn't care about my insights, doesn't follow me, so I'm not concerned with what they're thinking, right? Now, we're going to get to that on a bigger level later on in this video. But what I'm saying is, folks, so I care about how you feel, and I'm going to help you deal. You're the viewer who's supporting me, right? Not that asshole, right? And I'm not really saying he's an asshole, but I'm just talking. Okay? A great one. So, all right, so let's start here. Let's see where do we start here. So you have these exes, these women calling. What are they doing, and what are the terms of those calls? Are you guys being adults? That's why I said it's a lot of details. So when they call, are they specifically addressing issues about the children, which are very important because you have to factor this in. When you met this person, these are real humans. If they have health insurance concerns or any of these things that happen in life when people just don't stay together like the average fucking fool in society today. The divorce rate is through the fucking ceiling. Go look it up. Right? So they have these arrangements, maybe doctor's visits and stuff. And I know these things really happen, folks. I'm serious. I talk to people every day. Sometimes I go do this little youth group thing down at the church. I haven't done it in a while. And you listen to these kids. A lot of them have issues with paying child support. They're young. They're working. They don't make enough money. And all types of things are happening that they're sucking them into a system of evil. Right behind, when you really look at it, lust or wanting to feel something like I started out with. So I'm not going to make this about that just yet. We're going to talk about those specifics, your household. They're calling. What are they saying? Is he on the phone? Is he doing it in front of you? Is he speaking to them in short sentences? Now, because it shouldn't be a long conversation. You're fucking adult. You're not going to sit here and reason with some idea of a grown man having some romantic or long level of intimate conversation with another woman in your presence. That's foolishness, because obviously this fucking idiot would not condone such behavior from yourself. So let's say you're in a supermarket and the guy's ringing you guys up and he's asking you about something specific about, you know, your shoe size or something, and you're giggling and you're talking to him in front of this guy, your potential guy who wants your hand, right? What are they going to feel? Are they going to be jealous? Are they going to confront you about it? So now we're getting into selfishness. This is what narcissists do, because they don't reason you separate from them, from their identity, right? They can do whatever they want and the rules don't apply. And that's what we're getting to, rules and stuff. All of these things are meant to be broken when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. So if you haven't identified the terms of your relationship, like I said before, are y'all just roommates? What's going on in your life? Okay? So there's a lot of things, but women shouldn't be randomly calling your house. And I'm not trying to get in your business or your house, but I'm just being reasonable about this. Does it make any sense? I can remember years ago, I had a friend of mine, this lady that worked in the office, and we talked a few times, and you know, we would have a drink at the bar sometimes, and this lady would tell me all types of stuff. And then because maybe I'm an empath when I look back on it, maybe they felt comfortable, but they would tell me all types of shit. And they would tell me what was going on in their house. And they had a situation where, and listen to this, folks, and tell me what y'all think about this. And I'm going to show you this functional thinking. They had a situation where they were that free-spirited type of woman, where obviously they were my friend and I wasn't doing anything, so I can respect it on some level, people being platonic, because when you're on a certain maturity level, you're not on that level, folks. You're not just like a fucking dog in heat or something. So you can be friends with anybody. It's consciousness. So anyway, I'm talking to this lady, and she's telling me about the problem she's having with her husband. And it seems that she met some guy, right? And she invited the guy to her house a couple of times. And so, you know, what would happen is the husband would get off work and shit. And this guy would be sitting in his kitchen. He'll come in there to get a beer or some shit out of the fridge. And there's some guy sitting at the fucking kitchen table, you know, playing cards or laughing with his wife, who wasn't working at the time and would stay home. So he's sitting there trying to reason why he's paying bills. What did y'all do all day? Who is this guy? And the guy's jumping up trying to shake his hand and it's all kinds of crazy stuff. So when he got upset, she reasoned that he was being jealous. See, there's that word jealous that you use. Trying to show you something. So she couldn't identify the fact, but because of her narcissism and craziness, she was willing to take it to that level where she was bringing some guy, whether it was a friend or not, platonically. You know, that guy was a fucking fool on some level because you can't reason someone else's thinking. Why would you be sitting in another man's house and he's at work and he gets off and he's all clothes all downtrodden on him from a hard day and he's going to get a beer and you're sitting, he has to pass behind your big ass apple head to get to the fridge to get a beer or something? Like, come on now. That's sitcom shit, right? Shit you like to look at, right? So I'm trying to show you that if he's having multiple women call like this, there's some type of irresponsibility on his part because you guys are not fucking children. I don't know how the terms of how you got into a relationship, but now you're grown and now the children out here, you got to play this by a whole different set of rules. You're fucking adults, right? I don't appreciate a lot of things in the society, but just on a fundamental level, since we're talking basic here, because you like basic sometimes, this is basic life. Acting right in a certain way. Go check out my book, I Love Bad Behavior. I talk about certain things in this book where I address this type of dysfunctional way we look at each other in certain ways. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is why I talk about this, folks. People are affected. Relationships are us. When we reproduce and make families, those families go out in the fucking world and we produce bad people. You see what I'm saying? I'm a social researcher for a reason, folks, not for sensation. And I have a higher purpose. So, you know, he says that you're being disrespectful and he's not even catering to your feelings at all, which is very interesting. You know, and I'm not picking on this guy because I don't have enough information. But like I said, because he didn't write me, we're not going to cater to his feelings today. We're going to talk about what you think. Okay? And based on what you said, he says you're being jealous. And I don't think you're being jealous, ma'am. I really don't. Let's be honest about this. You're a grown-up. You're living in a house, and yes, maybe you accepted the terms of him having kids in other situations, but there's a reasonable, responsible way to live under those circumstances. Not reckless. You shouldn't ever be in a place where you're of uncertainty, where you don't understand or what he's going to do or what these women want or any of these things. Because it's ridiculous. Right? If he wanted to still be in a relationship with them, he should still be living in the house with them. Now, getting to the house. Who is paying these bills in his house? Because if you guys are not doing this on the 50-50 level, then on a technical level, in his mind, like I said, because y'all have been roommates, what are the circumstances? Did you move in when it was his house, or did you let him move in? It was your apartment and he was trying to get on his feet. What are the circumstances? I don't have to get into all of that. But I'm saying those are fine things to understand how you reason about y'all living in the house together. If it's both of your guys' house on the lease together, then it makes sense for you to reason that in a relationship, whether he wanted to marry you or not, just because you guys are roommates in a exclusive, like you use that kind of word, one-on-ones, what you said, which means exclusive relationship, then no other woman should be handing out cookies to him. And he shouldn't be seeking it. So the average person will try to be a narcissist. I don't have a napkin. The average person will try to be a narcissist and will try to reap the benefits of such a situation. Only a narc would not reason your feelings when you tell him that you're hurting. So what happens on the day he comes home and he finds a fucking Dear John letter? You know, Dear John, by the time you read this letter, your ass is gone, right? What if he came home and saw that? Would he reason about how you felt. And so that's another thing. I'm getting to that real quick. Narcissists have a tendency of doing things, right? And you may try to talk to them and try to get them to understand your position on something, but because they're so skewed in how they see something, they will continue to do what they do. And then when the consequence comes, they will instantly become a victim and will blame you for you discarding or you walking away from something that was hurting you. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? It's all disturbed thinking, right? But if we're going to assume that you're goody two shoes. You're one of my viewers. So let's just say you're goody two shoes, and you are a good person. All right, not stop playing for a minute, but you are a good person. Let's assume that. And all you want to do is, I don't know if you guys have kids. I can't recall if you put that in the letter, but you guys have a scenario together. You're together, okay? And that's very important to look at how this is. Does this person want to be with you? If they do, which is what you said, right? Make them own up to what they're saying. If not, then they're showing you that they're gaslighting. See, that's why it's all narcissism. You'll be experiencing years and years of pain going down, chasing future faking is what they call it. Chasing these false hopes and shit. Narcissists are forever built to do these things, folks. They don't have anything to offer. And that's what the best of us have reason, all of the social researchers. Right? So, I hope I addressed something there. I don't have too much more time. I'm getting down this trail. But, and you know, actually, you know, I'll come back and I'll get serious about some things I want to talk about, how this behavior relates to something bigger. And we'll talk in another video. But, yeah, you know, I understand what you're saying, how you feel, and this comes down to your feelings. You're hurting. Hey, great one. You're hurting because you're in a relationship with someone who says that they want to have a one-on-one exclusive relationship with you. So that means you're obviously acting a certain way and you feel that they aren't. That's what it comes down to. Women are calling the house, more than one woman who has more than one child with this person. They're not showing that they are sensitive to your pain on any type of level or anything. You continuously live in this situation and deal, right? I'm sure you guys continuously fight about this because the women are continuously calling. So there are some turf things. And if they're narcissists, all of this is one big dysfunctional, toxic part of foolishness. If you are in high vibration, which I suspect you may be, then you're reasoning that this is all foolishness. And it is. That's the truth. That's the thing about clarity. When you see it, it is what it is. See, you're crazy if you're continuously sticking your hand in the socket, assuming something different is going to happen every time. So think about that. Now, I want to follow this video up. Great viewer out there. I do want to follow this video up. If I haven't extensively did the video, I'm sweating out here, you know, and it's hot. And I got a little ways to go up the trail. So I'm going to get to that. You guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Pick up my book, I Love Bad Behavior. You can pick the book up on Amazon. Like, share, and subscribe, like I said, to the channel, folks. And I appreciate the new subscriptions and all of your feedback and input on things when it makes sense, when it's about something bigger, which we want to get to next video. This is really serious. But I do want to follow this up, and I would like to hear what happened, what you concluded. You know, maybe put it in the comment in one of the future videos or something. I'm going to be trying to set up some counseling things. I told y'all I'm going to try to upgrade, you know, my website and everything, but I've been really busy trying to get my business together and stuff. I got a lot of stuff and this crazy stuff going on. So I'm gonna get that together. But meanwhile, you guys wait for the next video and we'll be back to talk again. I appreciate all of your time and input. You guys have a great day. Take care.